Welcome to Philadelphia. You're looking at the first Union Center, the home of the Philadelphia Wings. This is the National Lacrosse League Game of the Week featuring the Rochester KNIGHTHAWKS taking on the Philadelphia Wings. A packed crowd getting ready to watch Dallas Elliott, the perennial All-Pro, the backbone of the defense of this great Philadelphia Wings team. Look at his save percentage this year, 77.4. That is outstanding if he can hold that through the full season. On the other end, not as much consistency. Scott and I will talk about this as Steve Dietrich, who has been sensational, 2-knee operation, has taken a career save percentage from 75 to about 71.8. He has not been totally consistent this year. Paul Day and the Rochester KNIGHTHAWKS hope Dietrich is on his game tonight. Referees tonight, Tommy Young. They're representing Tim Murray and David Berman. All set for a great one again. Lee Felsbo along with Scott Gabrielson. Scott Gabrielson, one of the past greats of the Wings. And Scott, we look down on this face-off, a critical game for both teams. One loss for the Wings coming in 3-1, 3-2 for Rochester. Rochester always, year in and year out, has a problem starting slow. They don't want to lose tonight. Well, they did start slow beginning of this year. This is the rematch of the game that they lost by 1 goal at Rochester. This means a lot for both teams. Philadelphia is going on the road after this game, and it means a lot for Rochester to win on the road tonight. Well, the Wings have played well this year. The only game they lost, the Wings scored 18 goals, so they're looking to toughen up the defensive end as Dave Stille, the captain, brings the ball up after playing good defense. Jake Berge, number 66, pulls it down. Hometown hero gets whacked in the back by MacArthur. And failure to bring it up on time, I think, Scott. 10-second penalty. Philadelphia Wings didn't get over the midfield. Goes the other way. This will be Dwayne Jacobs. You look at Jake Berge, tremendous numbers for Berge. Really a little bit of an off year last year, and he is lighting it up this year. Timmy Sudan working on the right-handed shooter side, and Dallas Elliott gobbles up the second attempt to score tonight. Early in the game, nobody has scored, but there hasn't been a good offensive set for Philadelphia yet. Tommy Fair brings it down deep into the corner. I think you have to expect to see the pace of this game very fast and furious tonight. The offensive tandem between Marechek and Berge, trying to get the two-man going, is going to be something. That's Marechek working against the big move by Berge. Marechek had the pick by Berge low. He came in, was very patient, got Dietrich out of position to get the first goal of the game. Tom Marechek, you talk about the two-man game lead. Jake Berge comes and sets a pick for Tom Marechek, and then we go right into it. Here you go. After the shot, stands Dietrich up, puts the ball in the back of the net. But that was all set up by a Jake Berge pick with Tom Fair following, and he makes it happen. Here it sets up well. Fair comes up. 3 men occupy Berge. Tom Marechek takes his time, fakes Dietrich. He stands. He puts it away. They don't come any better in the offensive end than Canadian great Tom Marechek. Playing in his 8th year and really showing you how well he and Berge are working on the first goal of the game. 1-0 as we continue action. Faceoff gives the ball back to Rochester wearing the dark uniforms with the blue trim. McGrady works on the left-hander side. This is John Grant, watch number 24. He's got tremendous power and the ability to shoot on both sides. He'll go behind the back as often as he goes with the right, or with the forehand, left-handed shot. So deceptive with John Grant. He'll shoot. You don't know whether he's going to shoot overhand or whether behind his back, and he's deadly with both. Philadelphia brings the ball down. Jay Jalbert started it, number 56. He's on this set. Now he has the ball. Jalbert, 3-time All-American in Virginia. He likes to shoot from the outside, and he gets the iron on that one. He had beaten Dietrich with an outside shot. It hit the pipe and comes back the other way. Jalbert learning the ropes, coming in as a rookie. Doesn't have any goals yet. Number 56, keep an eye on him. As you see, Jamie Hanford from Loyola give the ball up. Tommy Marechek, 75 games total. Coming in this game, 8th season. Look at those numbers, Scott. You can't talk about the Philadelphia Wings without talking about Tom Marechek. Jake Berge might be on fire to start this season, but it's Tom Marechek's team. He is the man. He scores from everywhere, and he's putting up great, fantastic numbers as usual. Well, this time, the right-handed set has Berge going through 3 people instead of holding him up. You saw how he just sliced and diced through 3 Rochester KNIGHTHAWKS and got not only a shot, but he drew a penalty. Well, you speak of the toughness of Jake Berge. Here he is
Defensive player draped all over him, still carrying the man to the goal, trying to get the shot on.
Darren Much will spend 2 minutes in the box. Berge just draped him around the back of his offensive push, and now they'll set up this extra man. Extra man, Scott, has been a problem the last couple of years. They seem to have really solidified it now with the addition of Millen. He's the top left-handed shooter, right, number 9 right there. You've got Berge right there, top right-hander. Back to Millen, comes inside, great move, and Dietrich makes a save. A lot of tremendous shooters to give pressure on Rochester, but Rochester comes back the other way. Mearns, the captain. Rochester historically, as you see Sudan get the ball, can sting you when they're a man short. You've got to be careful.
It has been a problem for Philadelphia. They have a very potent extra man or power play offense, but they have a failure to get off the floor fast enough and get the defense on. Rochester almost got a goal out of that because of the slow transition.
There's one behind the back. Kruger almost beat Dallas Elliott, but Elliott got a shoulder on it. They've got 4 shorthanded goals on the season, Rochester does, from 4 different players. They love transition, and shorthanded gives them a chance to not only have transition, but to offer some confusion on the defensive end, and they will not waste any time going right to the goal.
As a result of the power play or the inability for Philadelphia to get off the floor, Tom Marechek had to take a holding penalty, narrowed even strength with both teams in a 4-on-4 situation.
And at the end of the 4-on-4, it'll be Rochester with a little bit of an advantage. Off the pipe by Dwayne Jacobs. Playing with that 4-on-4 that should give Philadelphia a little bit of an advantage with their speed and fitness advantage. I'm going to say overall, I think that's where the Wings would have a little bit of an advantage. They play so well in the 4th quarter because they are in shape and they can run the floor so well.
It has been a characteristic of them this year. They've been very efficient in the 4th quarter, less the Buffalo game, but they're playing very well.
John Grant inside the defense, blocked it down. He's trying to get the ball from his teammate Andrew Turner. Now it comes up to Sudan. Timmy Sudan, a right-handed shooter on the wrong side. He'll have to sweep over, looking to feed. Now he goes over, gonna shoot lefty, comes in back door, trying to hit Kruger. Didn't get a shot on Dallas, and here come the Wings.
As we're in the 4-on-4 situation, it greatly opens up the floor now. It's a great opportunity to take advantage of the 2-on-1 game where you can have a pick and roll and the 2-man side. Here you have Jake Berge, Finneran, Marechek, and Jason Clark trying to work just that.
Much just came on the floor for Rochester. That means that the 4-on-4 is over and that Rochester has a man advantage. Finneran just tries to dig it in deep to give his defense time to come back on the floor. Now you'll see Rochester with Mearns giving it off to the offensive star, John Grant. They'll set up their 5-on-4. They're down by 1. Marechek scoring to give Philadelphia the early lead.
Rochester has a very effective power play, and just for that reason, because of John Grant.
Well, John Grant starts off the scoring. Marechek, the big gun for Philly, gets their first goal, and John Grant, the guy who can do everything, just sets up top and blisters the shot. When he can look at the full 18 square feet, he is very tough to defend.
It's not a surprise. It's known by Philadelphia that you have to key on John Grant. Well, they don't. They give him a big shot. He's able to set his feet, take a look at the net, and then just blast away. Here he is. Nobody in front of him. Gets a little bit of a screen by Dewey Jacobs. Dallas Elliott can't see the ball. First goal for John Grant.
Game all tied at 1. Marechek got the goal. He got the penalty to give them the advantage, and that's what evens it up for Rochester. Big, tough push by Jay Jalbert. Took on 3 players for Rochester, and Dietrich makes the save.
Jay Jalbert's having a great season so far in his rookie year with the Philadelphia Wings. This is a guy that doesn't have a goal yet this season. He's trying to get his first goal tonight, but he is a tough kid that's been a great and pleasant surprise for the Philadelphia Wings.
Jalbert likes a little more room. His shooting style in Virginia was from outside. He could really burn you. And of course, in the indoor game, you've got to learn to work in tighter quarters. He'll pick it up with time. Rochester now working the ball far side. Kurt Malowski, one of their offensive stars, just puts it down into the corner, knowing the shot clock was not to shoot.
Great defensive effort by Tom Ryan to slow the Rochester attack down and force a turnover.
Teams at even strength now, 5-on-5. Again, Berge with Tom Marechek working that side. Mearns all over him. Now Marechek up top, goes backside, and Dietrich makes a big save.
One of the things that Philadelphia has had a little bit of a problem with is using up the shot clock.
After Jason Clark doesn't get his goal, it goes the other direction. Andrew Turner, coast to coast, baits Dallas on the near side and really sticks the corner beautifully to give them the 2-1 advantage.
Big offensive rush by Philadelphia at the far end. A shot and a turnover leads to a one-on-one breakaway against Dallas Elliott. Big fake, buries it away in the left-hand corner. Great goal by Turner.
Rochester goal scored by number 26, Andrew Turner.
One of the keys that we're going to look for tonight, Leaf, is who are the guys that are going to score the goals besides Grant, Sudan, Jacobs, and Bomberry. Well, there's Turner. He's on the board right now, and look for that to be a key of this evening.
Both teams really need to get a lot of scores involved. As you see, Tommy Ryan down low trying to get a goal. They're waving it off. No goal as Dietrich finally gets control. Ryan was parked down for the left-handed finish. John Grant, one-on-one with Rada Ball. Driving down low, or Gagliardi rather, number 19, playing defense on him. And here come the Wings. Great defense. Gagliardi filling the shoes of Brian Volker, who played so well defensively for the Wings from Hopkins. Gagliardi from Hopkins, both defensive All-Americans at that great school. Another shot at the feet of Dietrich, and he'll make that save. Time called by the refs as they try to find the ball, and that will be no goal. 2-1, the Rochester KNIGHTHAWKS leading the Philadelphia Wings. We're about halfway through the first quarter. We'll be back to the First Union Center in a moment.
Check out section 112.
Take a look at the standings as we come back to the First Union Center. Philadelphia right up there on top of the pack, Scott.
As expected, is where Philadelphia wants to be every at this point of the year. It's a tough season. They've got 2 road games coming up. Rochester down at 3-2 is right there. They've been in the championship game the last 2 years. Look for them to climb in those standings as well.
We're back to the First Union Center in the first quarter, 2-1. The Rochester KNIGHTHAWKS in black leading the game. Leif Elsmo and Scott Gabrielson, the first all-Norwegian team to bring it across in the history of the game. Timmy Sudan, the veteran on the far side. He had a sensational year last year. When you look at his numbers, the best numbers he's ever had in indoor lacrosse, he posted last year on the offensive end.
He's a member of Team Timex, takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Him and Kevin Finneran. I mean, Timmy Sudan is one of the toughest guys that the Rochester KNIGHTHAWKS have on their squad. He gives them everything: offense, defense, face-off ability. He's just a great team player for Rochester to have.
Turner playing defense on Berge as Marichek sets up on that right-handed side. Now they get it to Millen on the left. Millen probably feels a little lonely over there when you got Berge and Marichek working the right side. Not a chance to get the ball very much for the great shooter, Mark Millen. As you see, made a save.
As you see the barrage of shots that Marichek and Berge are having, they're drawing a lot of the defensive attention to that right side. What they need to start doing is putting some pressure off themselves and whipping it over to the left to give Millen and Finneran those shots.
Kurt Malowski on a fast break. That is typical Rochester. They really squirt out of the back of that transition box fast. Kurt Malowski in the face of Dallas Elliott. He makes the big save to keep the score 2-1. Now Finneran, the veteran, from the left-handed side, and Dietrich just pushes it away. Another veteran with great numbers. Finneran, you're looking at him right there.
Kevin Finneran's having another great season. He's 35 years old. He's never missed a game. He is the Iron Man of this game right here, and he's having a fantastic season. Philadelphia switched from an all-out offensive, defensive end for each player to play to strictly offensive unit and defensive unit, and that's helping Kevin Finneran and the Philadelphia Wings.
Rochester now locking up on the offensive end. Malowski worked with Bomberry, backside to John Grant, and he was just pushed out of the way by Peter Jacobs. Number 24 for Philadelphia, Jacobs. Great size for Jacobs, 6'4", 6'5", and up around that 225 area. He matches up beautifully physical-wise with John Grant, and that's the matchup they want.
Yes, one of the things that you're going to see is where number 24, when he's on the floor, you're going to see number 24 for the Wings on the floor. Peter Jacobs, big, plays great defense, will drape all over John Grant. They're looking to slow him down that way.
Sudan up top, trying to get an open shot with Jeremy Hollenbeck. Look at the great defense Hanford, number 5, puts on. Sudan jukes inside for the right-handed shot against the defense of David Stilley, the captain. And Stilley just traces him down the back and does not give him an open shot at Dallas Elliott.
Great defense by Dave Stilley to create the turnover. That's the whole priority for the offensive defensive unit. Do what you do best. Play defense best, play offense best. Here comes the Philadelphia Wings offense.
This is a pretty nice lineup. Maricek and Berger, we've talked a lot about them. The other side, Mark Millen, one of the best players in the world. On the left-hand side with Tommy Ryan, pushing it around the crease. The ball went in, but they're calling the goal no good. I think there was a penalty called before the ball went in the net. Darren Mutch and Tom Ryan going after it a little bit.
The intensity is heightened here. The skirmish begins. Here you go, Berge. Maricek tying up Mearns. Mearns loses his stick. All he can do is wrap up Berge with both of his hands, takes him down. Mearns is going to the box for a penalty.
Mearns took the penalty rather than that goal. Looked like a sure goal for the big guy. Berge coming in. Talk about a hometown hero. How about Jake Berge with his dad? All the years his dad played linebacker for the Eagles. And to watch his son play here on this floor, I tell you what, he says it's better than when he played.
He's a fan favorite. Here you see Berge and the pick tying up everybody and then coming in, getting tackled. Dietrich makes the save. Penalty was called, then Maricek gets the ball.
5-on-4. Berge, the right-handed shooter. That is Mark Millen. Back into Berge, who wheeled right around the pick set by Maricek. Nice play, an open shot, but Dietrich brushes it aside.
When you look at this power play for Philadelphia, they've got an assortment of great players here. They expect to get a high-quality shot every time at a Maricek, Berge, or Millen.
John Grant comes down, gets the ball back. Dietrich playing very, very tough in the goal. Let up that early goal with Tommy Maricek and has been tough throughout the game since that moment.
Here's the guy everybody's watching, John Grant. He creates a lot of attention. There he is. He makes it happen, whether he's scoring the goal or throwing the assist. The attention was drawn to number 24, John Grant, as he wraps around the goal. The whole defensive team for Philadelphia turns their head, concentrates on Grant as he whips it up to Jacobs for the goal.
Here he Jacobs trails the play.
Jacobs from up top, sees it, takes a look at it, buries it in the back of the net. Here it is, another look. Grant, everybody's turning their heads. Look at all the heads of Philadelphia. Dewey Jacobs standing up top, gets Dallas even sitting down, puts it in the back of the net.
Scoring drought as you look at Dwayne Jacobs, 15th goal. 3 different players, Grant, Turner, Jacobs, against the 1 goal by Maricek as you look at the intense defense put on the corners. Jay Jalbert trying to get the ball back, and there will be a penalty. What are they calling on, Scott?
Looks like it's going to go both ways. Both of the guys are going to go to the penalty box.
This is where it started. A lot of hitting in there. Andrew Turner came in. Tommy Ryan there.
This isn't a game for the faint of heart. If you're going to have your head down in the game of indoor lacrosse, somebody's going to come and they're going to tattoo you. That time, a couple heads were down, guys were getting knocked around. MacArthur and Mearns were a little too aggressive in regards to their defense, and they're both heading to the box.
Well, actually, it's Jalbert in there for the Wings, and then Mearns for Rochester. So each team gets a guy in the box. Once again, we're going 4-on-4.
As we pointed out earlier, here's the matchup that Philadelphia wants. John Grant on Peter Jacobs, 24-on-24. Look for the pick and roll to open somebody for Rochester.
Brugger's at the pick. Grant comes back with one arm, shoots right-handed wide of the net. Still he can't pick it up cleanly, but this one will go to fair, and here come the Wings. He's got Slate to his left. Slate picks it up, nobody in front of him. Now backs off and looks for 4 fresh players to come on.
Great defensive effort by Philadelphia. Get the right personnel on the floor. Tom Maricek is one of the guys you want to have with the ball.
Maricek starts this play up top, and they are clutching and grabbing, but could not stop Maricek. It started with Hasten. Hasten up top, number 10, couldn't stay with Maricek, and then he used a pick One fake, and he buries it again. Marichek 2, Rochester has 3.
You have to honor Tom Marichek's shot from outside, and by doing so, he sets him up with the shot, but then dives down to the left, brings it back to his right hand, beats Dietrich for the goal. Here he goes, sets him up. He got onto the shot, doesn't take the shot, comes down, doubled, puts it in the net. You see in that play also, Jake Berge took a shot right to the throat, which is going to send a Rochester player to the penalty box.
Jalbert still in the box. Looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-on-4 at this point, so Rochester doesn't get the guy in the box.
That actually surprised me, Leaf. Jake Berge took a cross-check right to the throat, dropped him to his knees. In a sense, may have set up that goal for Marichek. It should have been the penalty. They got one.
Malowski, 22, sets the 5-1-4. Grant will be up top. Bomberry over to the right-handed, and that is Jacobs with a left-handed shot. These guys are deadly from the outside, but they're off their shots a little bit. Dallas Elliott really makes the shooters ping the corners. He is so good, has been for so many years. Mike Buzza, the Penn State All-American, comes up the field, and now Berge will reset that offense.
Great clear by Mike Buzza to push it up. Now they get the right personnel up. Here you got Radcliffe and Berge working the two-man game with a disadvantage.
Some of the new talent for the Philadelphia Wings. Radcliffe, the first draft pick for Philadelphia this year, 4th overall, I believe, the first round pick for the Wings. Gives you great size down there and a good finisher. Played at University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and really that was a tremendous offensive set of years they had with Radcliffe up there with Don Zimmerman and the UMBC guys.
He's a great addition to Philadelphia. They now have a low right-hand shooter.
Grant cocks the gun and lets it go. Ball comes out to the wing and still alive. Grant did a nice job of following up his own shot. Dallas made the save, couldn't find the ball. Rochester was on top of it, but could not connect. Game stage 3-2 in favor of Rochester.
Philadelphia needs to get the ball around. They're trying the left side and the right side. They need to move it around, get everybody to touch the ball, set something up, and attack the ball.
Dallas has an equipment problem, and the referees call a timeout as you look at Jalbert. There's Dallas. Got the gloves off. Something came off his knee protection, so they'll wrap that back around. Tony Resch looking on his team. This guy was a tremendous player at Yale. Tony Resch had a 6-year career here. 3 of those years a captain. Was a member of the 1990 World Team for the U.S. that won the World Championship in Australia. Look at his record as a Wings coach. With his defensive background, you know, Scott, you have played for Tony Resch. He focuses on that defensive end, and Paul Day there looks at his Rochester guys who know how to light it up. But Tony Resch wants that defense to tighten up a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, 2 great coaches as you touch on both of them. Tony Resch was a great teammate and a great coach. Excellent, fiery, motivating leader. An excellent guy to get these guys going.
Rochester leads by 1, 3-2, closing moments of the first quarter. Leaf Ellsbow, Scott Gabrielson at the First Union Center. Tommy Ryan tries to get that one on goal. Berge has it checked out. Shot clock violation. Rochester has 30 seconds. Shot clock will be no factor as they get the last shot if they are good with the ball, and they normally are.
Excellent defense by Rochester. Anytime you can hold a team to the 30-second shot clock, it's a very effective defense.
Randy Burns. Timmy Sudan just lights it up with a rug burner. That one was about 2 inches off the carpet and stayed there. Beats Dallas Elliott with 12.6 seconds left in the first quarter.
Rochester's offense is moving so well. There's a lot of action inside. They're picking, they're rolling. They're going from the left side to the right side. Here you see Merns with a little pop over to Sudan, who takes a shot, lights it up from outside. Timmy Sudan, known for his great right-handed shot, keeps it low to the ground from a very far distance and burns it past Dallas.
And a little bit of a screen going for him, it looked like, just blocked Dallas Elliott. Sudan, tremendous player out of University of Massachusetts.
Dallas Elliott is one of the best goalies in the league when he can see the ball, but if he's going to get screened, a goal's going to go in. Right there, Timmy Sudan had a little bit of a screen, but also blistered it right past Elliott.
MacArthur for Rochester to the left of what you're looking at on that faceoff, pushing people around. Tommy Fair, number 4, gets the ball back. Only 8 seconds left on the clock. Rochester gets possession, they might have a chance for one more shot. They bring it down. Bomberry with a great outside shot, gives it into Kruger. Kruger with no time, bounces one past the screen. It looks like part of their philosophy is to get in front of Dallas Elliott. Malowski again was in front of Dallas, trying to block him, screen him from the shot. And Philadelphia now enforcing their end of the field. Somebody's got to step up. Tommy Fair here just for that reason. This is a real street fighter you guys brought down from upstate New York.
Tom Fair, his reputation is a guy that doesn't want it. Nobody messes with him. Nobody messes with anybody else on the team. He dropped his gloves. He was ready to go with Corey Bomberry. Bomberry really didn't want any of it. Tom Fair was ready to go.
So Tom Fair and company will come back. They are down by. We're back at the First Union Center, but right now we're going to show you the last meeting between the Rochester KNIGHTHAWKS and the Philadelphia Wings. This was really an offensive showcase. You can see Grant's going first, Berge right there coming across the crease, and then it's Grant again to add to the scoring.
This was the Jake Berge, John Grant show with Tom Marichek chipping in as well. Fantastic game. Wings won by 1 goal. Look, you're at the same pace tonight, but it was a fantastic game by Berge with 10 points, and then Grant and Corey Bomberry with 11 each.
You see the power play numbers, Rochester 4 out of 8. That was the difference in their advantage, but they lost by 2 to Philadelphia. All of that advantage being gained really in the first quarter. It was an 8-6 first quarter for Philadelphia. Today, it's Rochester leading 4-2. Second quarter about to start. Lee Felsmo with Scott Gabrielson. And Scott, when you look at the numbers mean anything. To this point in the season, Rochester owns the second quarter. They are horrible in the fourth quarter if the numbers hold up. Philadelphia is horrible in the second quarter and great in the fourth quarter. So if those numbers hold up, Rochester should go on a run here. If Philadelphia can get back and even tie, they will be in great shape to win because this is Rochester's best quarter. Look at the shot differential for the Wings. Down 13 in the second quarter. That's how weak they are in the second quarter. But for Rochester, they shoot 35 more times than their opposition at this point in the season. Look at the fourth quarter, 21 less. So this is the quarter that they really produce a lot of goals. The Wings will have to play tough defense, and they start off with a good defensive set there. Peter Jacobs getting the ball.
It shows that they play to each other's strengths and weaknesses, where you have to be very careful of how things are going to work out.
Tommy Slade gets the ball in the middle of the field. Dietrich came way out to try to get the ball back. He was caught out of the net. Great hustle by Tom Slade. He hits the open rope, and it's a 4-3 game.
Fantastic forechecking by the Philadelphia Wings to get the Rochester KNIGHTHAWKS off balance. Tom Slade being there, being the heads-up guy to make the play happen. Just great effort on both sides. Dietrich overcommits. Probably a very bad move on his part, as you can see. Tommy Slade, great ground ball, sees the open net, puts it home. Here's another look at it. Dietrich, not a great place for a goalie to be. Tom Slade picks up the ball, sees the open net, puts it home.
Dietrich had to make a choice, and when he came out, he didn't collect the ball, and he was in trouble at that point.
Number 66, Jake Berge. Time to go, 38 seconds.
Jacobs.
One of the tough things right now for any face-off man to do is take a face-off, look for the ground ball, and not know where your wingman's coming from. You're going to take those shots, you're going to take the hits from outside. Peter Jacobs is one of the premier face-off men in the game. Here he is, wins the face-off, and wham, just gets leveled by when he turns his head the other way.
Casey Zaff really pasted him on that one. He's coming off the floor now. Jacobs a little woozy.
At 6'5", he does make a big target. Casey Zapp takes advantage of that and puts him down.
Jacobs going into the locker room. He is definitely not all there yet. Rochester, not only did they get the big hit, but they've got the man advantage. Bomberry up top. This is Sudan for the right-handed shot. He loves that spot, but look at Dallas Elliott coming out, breaking the angle for him, and getting the block.
Rochester's been very effective on their power play with Grant and Bomberry. Bomberry at the point with Grant at the lefty shooter and Sudan at the right.
John Grant, you saw him in the early offensive sets for the extra man up top in the middle. This time, he swung over to the corner. They gave Philadelphia a different look, and he gets inside, cracks the shell of that four-man box. Watch him crack the shell to your left.
Big fake by Bomberry. Gagliardi's just sitting tight. Not sure where he's going to be.
This is earlier on in that set. Ball came back out, and then it gets to this point.
But here he is. Gagliardi commits to take Bomberry, leaving John Grant wide open. He's going to get a couple fakes in there, and he's going to put it home. He's deadly when he's standing on top of the goalie.
John Grant's second goal of the night, both of them power play goals.
Face-offs are very important in this game. Right there, it's a good matchup right now between Philadelphia and Rochester, with Hanford taking that draw, with Jacobs out with an injury.
5-3, Rochester leads. We talked about the second quarter being a big quarter for them.
Second quarter is important. I mean, just as you mentioned in the stats, both teams are trying to overcome the problems that they're having. Philadelphia needs to tighten up their defense in the second quarter and be a little tighter on their men.
Back into John Grant. He goes behind the back. The feed was from Bomberry. Push comes, and the ball will go to Philadelphia. Looks like they were going to give it back to Rochester. Now they've got a little bit of a discussion about it. Tommy Young wanted to give it to Rochester, but he was ruled off. Ball goes to Slate and Philly. Place is starting to rock. Philadelphia down by 2. They start off ahead in this game. Marichek scored the first goal. You can see shots 15-12 in favor of Rochester.
Philadelphia's very sloppy on that offensive series right there, and here comes John Grant coming down on a 2-on-1.
There's a whistle on the other end of the field. A lot of guys looking to get a fight heat going here. Millen's involved. And I think Rochester probably initiated.
Tensions are heightened here. I mean, Rochester's coming in trying to set the tone of this game, trying to get Philadelphia a little bit frazzled.
They're sending Turner to the box for Rochester. That was a huge mistake, Scott. That was behind the play, off the ball, the kind of thing Randy Mearns will not do, because he's one of the smartest guys on there. He's like a coach on the field. The kind of thing that you would bring to this team, you wouldn't do. Somebody's got to be back there really making sure they don't make bad mistakes. There are mistakes and there are bad mistakes. When John Grant's got a fast break going, there's no reason to have a penalty off the ball.
Absolutely. You need to play cool, play within yourself, and when you see opportunities like Rochester just did, don't do anything to affect that. And unfortunately, Andrew Turner did that.
Good shot for the Wings here to get it going. Marichek up top, gets it to Berge in the corner, and Dietrich just puts the hand down to block that shot.
Philadelphia needs to take advantage of a power play here, settle down a little bit on offense, use the clock up. You've got a new 30-second clock. They need to take as many shots as they can, but work it around and find the open man.
Millen inside, around the back by Marichek, and Dietrich makes another save. The hat comes off as Millen gets a big check. And here comes Reggie Thorpe, the defensive specialist. And Millen is going to the box. Watch the shot from the middle. Marichek wraps it right around his shoulders.
Great look by Marichek. He probably could have taken an overhand shot, but thought he might be able to throw off Dietrich with a little fake to the right and a shot over to the left.
Reggie Thorpe, All-American at Syracuse, has really been the defensive backbone of this Rochester team. And he made a big play there.
Not surprising to see that Reggie Thorpe gets hit right in the face with a cross check. Helmet pops off, and he keeps running down the floor. He is one of the toughest guys in this league right there. Great ground ball guy for the Rochester KNIGHTHAWKS, and is one of the reasons why they've been successful in the championship game the past 2 years.
Sudan tried to hit Malowski with a little cat and mouse game. They didn't get it, and look at Dallas starting the fast break the other way. Tried to get Jamie Hanford, who normally goes off to the box, playing mostly the defensive role. Hanford had a fast break. Great look and location on that pass by Dallas Elliott. Marichek trying to get it into Berge, but he was locked up by John Grant. Teams now playing 4-on-4. Finneran from the left side. Now Much will get the ball back to the fast break of MacArthur. MacArthur pulls it back, left-handed side, and that'll go in the net. No, Dallas Elliott somehow made that save.
Great outlet pass by Dietrich, hitting MacArthur in stride, backhand shot. Dallas Elliott flops down, makes a tremendous save.
I saw the tape on his glove. I thought that was the ball. No chance. Dallas made that one of the biggest saves of the night for him. 5-3 the score. The Hawks still up by 2 here in Philadelphia. Finneran trying to slice it right down to Berge, who was just tied up by Darren Much. Whistle blows. I'll have a call here. Scott, the trouble for the power play, and Philly has had some trouble with the power play in the last 3 or 4 years, I would say, has been the low shooters. you were playing, the last year you played, they still were having trouble. You played that position a couple times, getting a guy who consistently could put the ball in the net from the low side.
Absolutely. Well, Jeff Ratcliffe is a guy that the Philadelphia Wings have brought in to try to make that an effective position right there. They do need somebody to come down, sit low, put the ball in the net, that has the poise to fake, and jam it home.
Tony Resch looking at his team, pulling them together. They're down by 2. Again, the scoring run. This game started off with Tom Marichek scoring the first goal of the game. Well, they didn't score another one for another 13 minutes as Grant, Turner, and Jacob scored 3, and Philadelphia has never been back in the lead since then. All time, 7-5 against the Rochester KNIGHTHAWKS.
Historically, Philadelphia has done well against Rochester, and one of the championships that Philadelphia has had was at the hands of Rochester, the victory in 1995. So this is a great matchup, always has been. There's always been a little bit of bad blood between these two teams, and is always an effective battle.
Toronto has won back-to-back National Lacrosse League championships, but before that, it was the Rochester KNIGHTHAWKS and the Philadelphia Wings who won in 2 years in a row that prestigious championship. So these teams know how to get it done and are hoping to get back there this year. Bomberry now, as they bring in their 5-1-4 for Rochester. This game's been played a lot uneven. John Grant 2 fakes. Bomberry loads up and misses, or gets a block from Dallas. Ball bounces out of bounds. It'll go to the Wings. They'll take the ball and bring it down.
Rochester, very, very tough to stop up top the way that they did. Bomberry's a great shooter. He was wide on that one. Unfortunately, it was a turnover. Now Philadelphia doesn't penalty kill him.
Jason Clark, number 13, gets it down to Kevin Finneran. Finneran having just a tremendous year.
When they're down here right now, Philadelphia has 4 men on the floor while Rochester has 5. They're just trying to really use up the shot clock, kill the penalty, and then turn it back over to Rochester.
Millen knows there's only seconds left, so he takes a shot from the outside. That was a smart play. Millen came off the bench, or off the penalty area, and then put a shot on net. He had to because of the shot clock.
Dietrich's really keeping his eye looking down the floor to try to get that fast break. He had a bit of an errant outlet pass there, but the man was open. Philadelphia's got to change on the fly a little bit more effectively, or Rochester's going to burn him on that play.
They're a man short, Philadelphia is right now, but they've got some potent weapons in there. Now they've got 5 on the floor. And inside, Finneran came right across the crease, and Marichek found them with a magical pass. Good save by Dietrich. Now backside, they're putting pressure on Dallas. Elliott couldn't get it back to Kruger. Kruger started that play and then asked for the ball back. Good defense by the Wings. Dallas can't control. Asen pushes it back to the boards, and they've got the ball.
Tremendous saves by Dallas Elliott. He's really keeping Philadelphia in here the last few opportunities that Rochester has had. Standing on his head, as we like to say, that he normally does in making the saves that he does. Things are getting chippy now. Philadelphia's getting a little bit physical. Rochester's retaliating, and we're going to have some penalties right here.
Looks like Hastings going to the box. Maybe 2 guys. Randy Mearns talking to the referee. And here's where it starts. Hastings in there gets sandwiched. He goes down with Fair and Jay Jalbert applying the Oreo cookie to him.
From that angle, I'm not sure who got the penalty there and why Hastings off to the box, and there's good reason for Paul Day to be upset at this point in time.
I think we saw why Hastings was mad, and then what we didn't see in that little clip was what he did afterward. He got up and started getting a little physical, and that's what the referee saw. That sent him to the box. So now again, a power play. Scott, have we had 5-on-5 in the last 15 minutes?
We have not. Here's a power play opportunity for Philadelphia. They need to use the clock up, as we mentioned before. Don't get the shot while still in the 20s, and try to get a very good opportunity on top of the goal.
Berge inside, and he gets it off the shoulder of Dietrich. Great patience by the big man, Jake Berge, who got inside that box, made a fake, finally saw his target, and sent it home.
You see the finesse that Jake Berge brings to this game. He's a big kid, he's strong, he's fast. He sets up Dietrich as if he's going to take a shot from outside, and then waltzes through. Here he is. He's going to shoot. No. Face dodge. Sets up Dietrich. Sees all the net. Puts it home. Fantastic goal by Jake Berge. Here's another look at it. Marichek flips it behind his back. Face dodge. Fakes right. Jams it home left. Great goal by Jake.
Now one-goal game. Hawks lead by 1, but in that all-important second quarter, you're talking about numbers, and a quarter where Rochester really has to make an impression on the defense of Philly. Philadelphia leads the second quarter 2-1.
Swarming defense by Jamie Hanford and John Gagliardi, leading to the frustration of Rochester, and here we're right into a little bit of a melee that shows the intensity between these two teams.
Helmet's coming off. Tom Ryan got his helmet caught in his dreadlocks. And here's Gagliardi going toe-to-toe with Pat McGrady. There's 2 or 3 fights all over the place. It's hard to keep track of them. On the far side, you had Jamie Hanford in his own battle.
Gagliardi was trying to get that helmet off. He finally got it off. Now he can tee up on McCready. Here's some action for you, folks.
Gagliardi and McCready, the last active fight. And McCready with a little bit of upstate action, that Canadian action. He knew how to pull that jersey down a little bit better than the New Yorker did, I think.
Takes a lot out of you to get involved in a fight after going up and down the floor a couple times and then getting right into a brawl.
You'll see the great John Gagliardi. His equipment's almost taken off. McGrady just about stripped him in the middle of the field. But Gagliardi, a tough kid, he's in there enforcing that team pride, that team defense. He's defending some of his players. That's what started it. The penalty box, as you look at a replay, the penalty box is going to get pretty full here. This again is a replay. McGrady, watch McGrady. He just about undresses Gagliardi. First the jersey comes off, then I think his shoulder pads came off, and Gagliardi had a tough time. Look at him. He's all wrapped up. His stuff's hanging over the side. But the point was made. John Gagliardi came in there to make a point, and I think that point was made.
This game historically has been separated between Canadians and Americans. The American players have adapted to the game of indoor lacrosse. But for the Canadians, they're used to playing this game day in and day out. They play it all throughout the year. One of the advantages that they do have against the American players is they know how to fight. The American players are not used to fighting in this style or even fighting at all. As you can see, McCready, what he did, he had Gagliardi's helmet off, his jersey off in a matter of seconds before Gagliardi even knew it was happening, and he was taking punches. John Gagliardi was doing everything he could to get the helmet off of McCready, but a little too late in the action. So just a hell of a brawl that takes a lot of the gas out of both teams and a couple bodies, if not 3 bodies, in the penalty box.
Steve Dietrich wearing the old-style field helmet. He just refuses to give that one up. It's kind of like Jimmy Connors wearing that metal racket or using that metal racket. You know, he's comfortable with it.
One of the things you saw in that fight, too, is that after the big hit started playing, you saw Dietrich right in the middle of that, right before the all broke loose.
Adam Mueller, the assistant coach on the wing sideline. You see Jake Berge coming over to try to get it all sorted out. Berge, the assistant, one of 2 assistant captains. Marechek won, Berge won, Dave Stilley, the captain on the Philadelphia Wings team. Referees are having a little confab and they're trying to figure it out. A lot of minutes, I'm sure, because you've got 3 Wings guys, Hanford, Tom Ryan, and Gagliardi. There they are sitting in the bench. That's a whole line that can come in from there. And then on the other side, you've got a handful of guys too. You've got Hasten and I guess it'd be McCready on the Rochester side. So it's 3 in there for Philly, 2 in there for Rochester, at least. That's all we can see.
When you talk about, I mean, this could be something that, in effect, strategy that Rochester's playing. With Philadelphia in their offensive defensive mode, this affects them greatly. 3 of the defensive specialists for Philadelphia are now in the box. Each could be in there for about 2 to 5 minutes. Okay, could have a great effect on the defense and the offense-defense format that Philadelphia's playing. Here's the highlight again. There's Dietrich right in the middle of the melee right there, right before everything breaks loose. Everybody's trying to match up. Fists are flying. Helmets are coming off.
Tommy Ryan got caught. His helmet got caught in his dreadlocks, his trademark dreadlocks. And here's Tim Murray. Berman, Young to the left. Looks like they got it all written down and figured out.
A lot of times a fight can be the turning point of a game. It's a motivating factor for a team. It gets the intensity up. It gets the blood flowing. It gets everybody ready to play it. You're sticking up for your teammate now. let me tell you, on the Philadelphia bench, and I would say on the Rochester bench as well, guys are not happy. Guys are upset. Guys got to go defend their teammate. This is going to be a different ball game from this point on, because tensions are heightened and guys are going to start going after each other.
The Rochester guys in a box with a lot of wings, people behind them. So they're going to sort out all these penalties. We'll give you the full story when we come back. The Hawks lead 5-4. 5-4 back at the First Union Center. Leif Elsmo, Scott Gabrielson looking at Rochester holding on to a very slim lead. Peter Jacobs was almost knocked out, taken off the floor, and now he's back. That's one thing this delay has helped the Wings with. It's given them a chance to get the big guy, Peter Jacobs, back. But you talk, Scott, about something changing, and certainly this has riled up the emotions of both teams. Something will probably turn right or left from this point.
No question. It's going to see who's got the most character right now. Is somebody going to lose their head because of the fact that they're frustrated and they want to try to get some paybacks in here, or are they going to do the right thing and play strong but play motivated? Here you see Peter Jacobs, who's coming back from an incredible hit. He's back in the game. Good addition for Philadelphia. Talking to Dallas Ellick and Tom Slate. He's the leader on this team. As Dave Stilley tries to iron things out with the referees, Philadelphia needs to regroup, take a deep breath, kind of compose themselves to come out to play the rest of this ball game.
Tony Resch looking on at the group we saw a moment ago. That includes, in that semicircle, only captains and referees allowed. So all three referees, with Stilley, the captain for the Philadelphia Wings, and with Mearns, the captain for Rochester. Paul Day looking very unemotional, comfortable. He's a detective up there in Canada in his daytime job, so this is nothing to him.
He's got his team with intensity. I mean, I think that Paul Day's come in and told his team before the game to go out there, play intense, let things happen. This is a guy that knows how to rile his team up and lead them. So they're effective. They're playing out. They're looking to take some heads off, and so far they've got the momentum.
I mean, you think about matchups, you talk about this league, the National Lacrosse League, and how close it's going to be at the end of the season, we predict. Most people do. You've got to win some tiebreakers, and they could easily see themselves in a situation where they're going to be in a tiebreaker situation with Philadelphia. They've already lost to them, so they're coming here with a little bit of desperation. If they lose the tiebreaker, and they're 500 after 6 games. Not a great spot to be.
And I think that he's got his team going. Tony Resch also, conversely, knows how important this is to Philadelphia Wings. It's a game at home. They've got 2 games on the road. This is a very important game to get Philadelphia, to get their Philadelphia faithful here in the crowd into the game, to get another win and sweep the Rochester Knighthawks.
Yeah, the other side of that coin is he'll know that he'll own the tiebreaker with Rochester. He'll have them buried if he ends up head-to-head with those guys at the end of the season. 9 teams in the National Lacrosse League, only the top 4 going to the playoffs. Penalty minutes really starting to mount up. Philadelphia leading in that category where they do not want to lead. And how many guys we got? Scott, you get figured out? Where's the list?
So you got 3 in for Philadelphia and only 1 in for Rochester. Rochester has the power play advantage right now. No, excuse me. Yes, they do. It's a 5-on-4 Rochester.
Grant couldn't pick it up. Tommy Fair did a nice job of holding him up and not letting him get a stick on the ball. And we do see that O'Toole is in for Dietrich. Now that's surprising because Dietrich did not look like he was in trouble. Didn't look like he was really laboring at all. But Pat O'Toole comes in. They have been using these goalies back and forth. They have not been totally consistent, either one of them. So Paul Day puts him in there, crosses his fingers. But Dietrich looked pretty strong.
Yeah, Paul Day has not been comfortable with the performance of either goalie this year. And each of the goalies knows that if they're not performing, they're going to get pulled, they're going to get switched. It's a little surprising to see this change made so early in the ballgame.
The last goal was a power play goal, certainly nothing you can fault Dietrich on. Now, Dietrich did go over and help out in the brawl, but he didn't look like he got hurt over there, so we'll have to find out what happened there later on. 5-on-4, still an advantage for Rochester. John Grant's up top, that's Dewey Jacobs. Bring the ball inside to Malowski. Malowski tied up by Jacobs beautifully on the defense, and here come the Philadelphia Wings. Tommy Slate wide open, but pulls it back and waits for his guys to come on. He wants to burn the 30 seconds, maybe get a shot. Maricek comes on to put the offensive pressure on. Berge and Maricek working that right side. got a fresh goalie, you'd like to put something on him as quick as you can. And Berge does. O'Toole makes the block on that one. They get a fresh 30-second clock if they can get possession. Quarter time down to 6:30. Back door to Slate, but he pulls back at the 25 on the shot clock. Plenty of time. Smart move by Slate. He's using the clock.
Philadelphia's going to try to eat up as much clock as they can. If they can get a shot and hit the goalie, they reset the shot clock, get a new 30. So here are the changes. They're waiting for Ryan to get on the floor. Now they're trying to get back to even strength.
Ryan came on. You're looking at 5-on-5 now. Finneran goes into a sandwich hit. And here comes John Grant. Doesn't have great speed. Let's see if Clark can catch him. Grant looking like he's got some wheels there. Wraps it around. Doesn't get the shot with no angle. He takes it on Dallas. Dallas didn't flinch. He knew there was nothing to shoot at. A left-hander from that side had no net left when he took that shot.
Great save by Dallas Elliott. Grant hurt himself by taking the shot late, taking away his angle. Really with no effort there.
Radcliffe trying to get it out in front now. Here's Clark with the ball. Defense is a little bit unsettled as Radcliffe came back to the middle to try to get possession. Clark, Jason Clark looking into the middle, trying to get Radcliffe again. Radcliffe cutting in front of the goalie O'Toole and asking for the ball.
We're going to have a penalty here, Leaf, and I think that it's going to go on Rochester. We talked about what the fight can do to the team. I think that there's a lot of unsettled play right now. Philadelphia is a little flustered, it looks like right now. There's a lot of activity they're doing. They're kind of running into each other and forcing things. They need to take a deep breath, settle down a little bit. Millen's going to start with the ball right here to see what the Philadelphia offensive players can do.
Rochester penalty assist number 26, Andrew Turner. 2 minutes for slash.
Turner gets the 2-minute penalty. Andrew Turner does for Rochester. You see him in the box all day, trying to get his team. It's tough to get a rhythm in this kind of a game. It's been, as you talked about, chippy. A lot of penalties, a lot of time not even strength, a lot of time uneven, so it's tough to get your lines running with any kind of consistency. And I tell you, you almost want to just survive the unrest and come out and be able to do something that you can plan on.
Well, it shows the smarts of Tony Resch right here. He noticed the same thing that we just pointed out that was unsettled. He takes a timeout, he regroups the guys, trying to get him composed. He knows his man up. The man up squad is getting together. They're working on the play with assistant coach Adam Mueller. You can see Radcliffe, Millen, Marichek, Finneran trying to get it all together in regards to what they're going to do in this play.
Here's Paul Day talking to his guys, and it was nice as we looked at Tony Resch. Resch talks to the defensive guys, and then at the same time he was talking to them, Adam Mueller, assistant coach, going over with the 5 offensive guys what they want to do on this 5-man offensive set. It should be an even strength, 5 against 5 for one of the few times in this half. O'Toole in the net. Don't know the story there. Dietrich looked like he was going fine. He comes out of the game.
As you look at the bench and you look at O'Toole coming back in, we don't see Steve Dietrich on the bench down there. It might be something that's injury related, that he's back in the locker room getting some things changed. So look for Pat O'Toole to finish this game.
Our last penalty was Turner right there. A little hatchet check to the back of Peter Jacobs, whose head has taken a beating in this game. And now it's a 5-on-4 because of that penalty. Right, it'll be a 5-on-4 for Philly, and they'll have a chance to tie the game. Marichek with a big fake. He had the corner open and just goes high. Berge up top, Marichek behind him. He goes to Tommy Marichek, right-handed shot, and O'Toole scoops it up. And O'Toole just lost it into the expensive seats down there behind the Rochester bench.
Good offensive movement by Philadelphia. Pat O'Toole's coming in cold. They take a few shots on him right away. As he gets the ball back, he tries to clear it. His stick's errant, and he whips it into the stands.
Finneran down, left-handed low. This is Marichek up top. Berge there with the ball for the right-handed shot. Millen to the left, and that's down to Finneran. In back to Marichek. Whoa, 3 fakes, but he took himself behind the plane. This goes to Finneran. He can't collect it. Man, Marichek had about 4 fakes, didn't let it go. And here comes Reggie Thorpe. Big collision with Tom Fair. Thorpe about 240. He's not moving very much with Tom Fair at 5'8".
Great defense by Tom Fair.
How about that hustle?
Fantastic individual effort by Tom Fair to get that ball back to Philadelphia, to put them in a power play situation.
Tommy Fair just would not give up, and he gets the ball back. Big shot, fake shot by Millen. He was faking me out because Berge had the ball. Now Berge again has it. Goes low and easy save for O'Toole. O'Toole looking for the fast break. Goes near side to Mearns. Big John Grant. Then down low. Malowski trying to get open. Timmy Sudan back to the lefty side. Dewey Jacobs. Splits two defenders into the middle of the field. Great feed. Whoa, Kruger took it right in front of Dallas, and Dallas comes up with a save.
Great ball movement by Rochester right here. They're getting a lot of possessions. They just got a new shot clock. They're moving the ball very well, being very careful of how they're passing the ball.
Kruger can't collect it. Buzza, the same kind of defense that Tommy Fair showed. Wings defense gives the ball back to Philadelphia. Slate, far side, here comes a fast break. Finneran rolls to the left-handed side, looks out front. Feeds and misses, and watch out with Brad MacArthur. MacArthur sizzling down with his good speed, but goes high and wide. Millen was behind him. Again, Dallas Elliott surviving some pretty high percentage shooting.
MacArthur was in the wrong position on the floor as a right-handed shooter. He should have been more to Dallas Elliott's left-hand side, so he had more of the net when he was bearing down on it.
Up top, another big save by O'Toole. Both teams shooting at will as Finneran brings it back. Looks far side to Clark. Clark into the middle. Berge goes for the corner. Reggie Thorpe tries to ignite the fast break. Mearns looks up. John Grant collects it and then tries to hit the corner, but Dallas just puts it away. Dallas with a one-arm block.
Fantastic save by Elliott. On a save on Grant, right on top and coming in, trying to jam it up high on Elliott. Fantastic save.
Hey, can there be any scarier sight than a fast break with John Grant with no defender on him? It was a tremendous save. Hawks still lead by one, 5-4. Rochester going with John Grant in, he's double teamed. Penalty called on Peter Jacobs, they'll have a free shot. Peter Jacobs called on the hold. John Grant, such a load when he backs in like that.
That's the matchup that Philadelphia was looking for with the 6'5" Jacobs on the 6'2" Grant, bearing down on him, putting some pressure on him, putting his shaft, his stick in the shaft on Jacobs, on Grant to slow him down. But he can't do it in the manner that he did it. Drew a penalty. Peter Jacobs in the box. Here you see it again.
Back right in.
Just a great defensive effort by Jacobs. Grant's got such an excellent stick, but he was holding him, and he's on his way to the box for two.
So they'll load up that power play offense. Grant takes a shot, and he finds rope behind Elliott. Finally, they move the ball enough to give Grant his open shot. Elliott, after making 4 or 5 sensational saves, finally has one fall behind him. 6-4, Rochester.
It's really only a matter of time that this Rochester power play is going to be effective. Here you go, Corey Bomberry passes it over to John Grant, who gets another good look at the net, takes a shot, big left-handed shot, sticks the upper left-hand corner and burns Dallas Elliott.
John Grant has 3 goals on the day. He's got a hat trick. All of the goals were power play goals.
And talking to some of the players on the Philadelphia Wings before the game, and looking back at their first meeting when John Grant had 7 goals, what Philadelphia's trying to do is contain John Grant. If he has a 7-goal performance, that's going to be trouble for Philadelphia. He already has 3. He's 1 goal off of his average, at 4. So they need to try to slow him down. They got to do a little bit more swarming on defense to slow down John Grant.
This quarter has been a 2-2 quarter. Slate and Berge scoring for Philadelphia, and then Grant scoring both.
Here's another look at that goal just by John Grant. Bomberry looks to take the shot, whips it over to John Grant, who takes a look, jams it in the net. Reason for celebration.
There's John Grant on the bench.
In just his second season, Leaf, he really has emerged as a rising star, a force to be reckoned with in this league. He's on his way to be a superstar. He's got all the tricks of the trade. He's big, he's physical, he's got a tremendous stick, and as we said in the open, he's got the ability to shoot behind his back as accurate as some offensive players do on any other team.
And also, some of the great players can do. Tom Marichek can do that as well too, but he has things he does with his stick. His fakes are unbelievable to follow. They are very hard to follow. He can throw almost with 80% of his speed and then not release the ball, he can really put a goalie in a bad spot. Let's take a look at John Grant's goals. He has all 3 goals on power plays.
Here you go. I mean, you're showing his effectiveness, his big shots from outside, and his ability to fake on the run and putting him in up close. He's got an accurate, fast shot. And one of the stats he showed earlier is he also leads the team in ground balls.
Mark Millen comes back for the Wings and gets them back to within 1. Millen, the 5th goal for Philadelphia.
Great action, great movement by Mark Millen to get O'Toole standing up and putting the goal by him. Excellent effort by Philadelphia, getting themselves back in the game. There was a lot of confusion in front of the net. Mark Millen's been a little quiet so far this season, and he puts in a great shot in right here.
I tell you, that is textbook Mark Millen, the University of Massachusetts All-American. He has a little bit of room up front. He can change direction better than anybody in the game of lacrosse. He starts one way, goes the other. Nobody can cover that move, and then he has a little bit of room to get that accurately placed, fast shot.
Cuts on a dime, showed it right there. He took Casey's staff in both directions, then banged it home.
6-5 the score now. Rochester just by 1. They came into this quarter with a 2-goal lead. We talked about how important the second quarter has been to their success this year. They have not gained any advantage. As a matter of fact, Philadelphia leads this quarter by 1. That should pay dividends in the 4th quarter. Backdoor Malowski can't beat Dallas Elliott. Dallas Elliott, the standard of excellence in the National Lacrosse League.
He's proving it tonight, Leaf. He is playing great. The defense is playing very well in front of him as well.
Berge tried to pick up a beautiful pass in front. He gives it up front for another shot. Here comes Tom Ryan. They move the ball beautifully and test O'Toole. 30 seconds left, a fresh shot clock. They can hold it for the last shot. Jalbert looks for help. Trailing players, Berge. Berge dives in and goes into the pipe. Crease violation. Berge sold it out right there, trying to get a score.
Very nice ball movement by Philadelphia. Pat O'Toole's having a heck of a game by coming right into the second quarter and really playing very well. He's shutting down Philadelphia. Let one in by Mark Millen, but he's playing great. Makes some big saves with Jake Berge standing right on top of him.
Berge really showing a variety of moves this year that can put pressure on any goalie. He's diving a lot. He's shooting from the outside. He's splitting guys. And, of course, everybody knows he can run over people. Take a look at his move again.
Here he is. He's getting pushed. He gets the ball down low, tries to get in his right hand. Takes a lot of pressure on that shot, but O'Toole's there for the save.
That's what I call
Philadelphia back to within 1 goal of Rochester. They had the first goal of the game, Philadelphia did. They led 1-0 with Tom Marichek's goal, and then Grant, Turner, and Jacobs made it a 3-1 game, and Rochester has led throughout at that point. Philadelphia, a chance to tie it on that last flurry of shots.
The game is playing out very similar to the way their first meeting was in regards to the closeness of it.
See if they pull the goalie here. 20 seconds left. Sudan will bring it down. O'Toole not going to the side. Very interesting. So they'll play at 5-5 here for the last minutes. Now O'Toole going to the sideline. With 10 seconds left, they'll play 6-on-5. Now they've got 6 men. With a 5 in, they get it in close to Dewey Jacobs. And tremendous save by Dallas Elliott as time winds out of the first quarter. Of the second quarter, I should say. First half over. But that was a picture-perfect final 20 seconds by Rochester. They got the 6-on-5, and they got the ball down to Dewey Jacobs. Credit Dallas Elliott.
Great save by Dallas Elliott and great effort by the Rochester Nighthawks.
6-5, the halftime score. Stay with us for halftime in just a moment. We're back at the first. Union Center, Leif Ellsmo, Scott Gabrielson. Rochester leads by 1, but the second quarter, Philadelphia earned a 3-2 advantage. They came back from a 2-goal deficit. It was 4-2 at the end of the first quarter. Now 6-5. You look at Jake Berge. We talked to him as we went to the half. This is one of the team leaders. And Scott, the team looks well poised. They are a strong fourth quarter team. They got the home crowd. I think Philadelphia will be tough to beat, even though they're down by 1. John Grant, he though, is a story all in himself. How do you defend him?
Here's where it gets interesting, Leaf. Second half, first half was full of fights, high-intensity battles. You just highlighted Jake Berge and John Grant again. Both of the guys, the emerging leaders on each team. Dallas Elliott in the net. Big second half for him with Pat O'Toole coming in, getting his first full half of action against Philadelphia. Look for a very exciting second half. This is where it all happens. We'll see what kind of motivating speeches were given at halftime by each coach respectively to lead their troops.
Now face-off goes to Philadelphia. Berge comes down. He's got somebody to his left. It's Buzza. Mike Buzza takes it off the iron. Almost buried it right off the face-off. Here comes John Grant. John Grant with one player in front of him. He'll feed inside. One shot and a goal. Great transition. Malowski came in. Grant got the ball and all the attention. Malowski snuck in behind the defense and was one-on-one with Dallas.
Transition is so important in this game. Here you see it. Randy Mearns heads up play, sees John Grant cherry picking all the way down at the other end. 2-on-1. Malowski comes in, jams it home. Dallas Elliott didn't have much to do there. 1-on-1, bang, goal, Rochester.
Well, within 15 seconds, boy, did the fortunes change. Buzza took a shot, didn't go, and Malowski cans it on the other end. Now the next face-off gives immediate pressure to Dallas Elliott, and just like that, Jalbert brings it down for the Wings. They're now down 7-5, third quarter just underway. All-American from Virginia, Jalbert moving in against Randy Mearns. Whistle blows, Kevin Finneran looks like he'll go to the box. Something way off the ball, Scott.
Looks like an illegal substitution here. Jalbert came down to the floor. They tried to get the offensive group on the field for Philadelphia. Kevin Finneran ran on the floor. Too many men. He's in the box for 2 minutes.
So now we'll get back to that power play that was so prevalent in the first half. Almost no even-up play. So many penalties. John Grant, 3 goals already on the power plays. They get it inside to Kruger. Kruger was defensed beautifully by Stille. Stille just tied him up. Back to Dewey Jacobs. Now Grant again looks inside. And Corey Bomberry can't get it off. So Stille has tied up 2 players in perfect position to score.
John Grant's alone, all by himself up top. Not the guy you want to leave alone right now.
Shot clock violation, so great defense by Philadelphia. Boy, Rochester ran a couple different sets, different looks, got the ball right in front where they want, and couldn't finish the play because of the great defense of Stille.
Excellent ball movement by Rochester, excellent defense by Philadelphia. Rochester is moving the ball very well in their power play. They're getting the shots. Dallas Elliott is standing up, making the big saves, shutting Rochester down.
Mark Millen tries to get one from way outside. Not much on that one. It went wide. He had plenty of time on the shot clock. Mark Millen scored the last goal for Philadelphia, the last goal of the first half, making it a 6-5 game. We're now at 7-5. Second half just underway. Grant now will reload that power play unit. They really had a couple great looks inside the head. Everybody coming in front of Dallas Elliott. Now back to the middle, or the right-handed shooter side, I should say. That's Malowski. So they're constantly changing the look, Scott, which really gives defense a little bit of something to think about.
Big rotation by the Rochester team. Corey Bomberry is primarily a big shooter from up top. You're seeing him down in the right-hand shooter spot, but Grant is always a threat up top.
Grant draws the defense. Bomberry couldn't get it off cleanly because of Peter Jacobs. Nice job. Grant couldn't pick up that. Slate gets to it. Bomberry can't. Jacobs does. Mike Buzza couldn't pick it up cleanly, and Rochester gets it back. Not much time left on this penalty.
Rochester's getting a number of opportunities on this power play. They've got an assortment of shots from outside and in close.
Grant goes far side. Now Jacobs up top. Last chance, because here comes the Wings. Finneran back on the floor, 5-on-5. Nice job of penalty killing for Philadelphia. And that was really critical. They had 1 goal already given up. They wanted to make sure it was still a 2-goal margin.
They've got to thank Dallas Elliott for this series right here. He just made a tremendous kick save, but he can only save so many shots. Rochester was just barraging him. One of them is going to go in, and there's the goal.
Rochester playing with desperation. They really want to win this game. It seems like they are playing with a little bit more of a desperate attitude than Philly at this point. They score the first 2 goals of the third quarter.
The second chance opportunities Rochester's taking advantage of. Here's Kruger getting isolated on Mike Buzza. Little quick turn, shot off the run, beats Dallas Elliott.
2 goals scored in the first 3 minutes. You look at Rusty Kruger. Face-off goes to Rochester. And now the game 8-5, 3-goal lead for the Nighthawks. Teams have pretty much traded goals since that 3-goal run in the first quarter of Grant, Turner, and Jacobs. But now, Rochester coming out with a lot of fire in this third quarter.
A lot of ball movement, a lot of off-ball movement by Rochester. Philadelphia's concentrating the men with the balls while there's a lot of activity going away from the ball.
Sudan just puts one on the throat protection of Dallas Elliott. Here comes one of the few offensive sets for Jay Jalbert and the Philadelphia Wings. Jalbert wheeling in front, takes the high shot that goes wide. Clark going behind, looking up top. He's got Jalbert. Jalbert with not much time on the shot clock, wheels in front, takes the shot, but it goes wide. And the shot clock down to 0. The ball goes back to Rochester.
Philadelphia for the first time, however, showing some poise on offense, getting the ball around, using up all 30 seconds of the shot clock. They had a couple good opportunities, but Jalbert couldn't put it on the net.
So now Grant gets Rochester down on their offensive 5-on-5. Malowski, or that's Corey Bomberry rather, number 72. Kruger. MacArthur, good size kid against Slate playing defense. Malowski tried to come up, give a pick and roll. He couldn't get in position, and Buzza doubled with Slate, got the ball back. Shot clock violation.
Rochester right there tried to do one of a one-on-one opportunity, couldn't get it done, and they turned the ball over.
6 shots on goal for Rochester, none for Philly at this point. Berge. Powerful move inside, splits the defense, and he's got rope.
Wow, Leaf, wow. What a great effort by Jake Berge. He draws all the attention of the Rochester defense and still is able to hold off the man and jam the ball in the net.
Berge's second goal of the day.
Here he is sweeping down left, turning up right, splits 2 defenders, attracts another one, and still jams it home and beats O'Toole. Another great look at it. Little face dodge, turns around, pushes between both men, takes a hit, and jams it home.
2 goals for Berge, 2 goals for Marichek to lead Philadelphia as they come back within 2, 8-6. Jacobs gets the loose ball, and they have dominated faceoffs here in the second quarter, in the second half. I think they've gotten every one, Scott.
It seems that Peter Jacobs is winning the move, but the Wings can't pick up the ball when it's on the ground.
Sudan fakes outside, comes in close, off the pipe. He had Dallas beat, but he couldn't get it in the net. Dallas knew the angle on that one. We'll get another fresh look. John Grant can't beat Dallas Elliott. Jalbert with the loose ball. Trying to look upfield. He gets racked by 2 defenders, but pulls it down. Looks to the trailing player for the fast break. Jalbert will take a shot, and he can't get past O'Toole. Trailing, Berge, wide as well.
A couple of very good opportunities for Philadelphia. Jalbert showing a little bit of his inexperience by not passing that ball to the far side of the floor to Jason Clark streaking down, but they did get a couple good opportunities.
Reggie Thorpe. Randy Mearns against Buzza. They like that size matchup. Buzza, tough as nails, but on the smaller side. Fair, looking for help. Back to Dallas Elliott. This is Buzza looking for a fast break. Gives it up to Marichek. Marichek eyeing a double team, trying to get a little bit of a screen in there with Ratcliffe. Millen's had the ball a lot in his hand in this third quarter. Marichek juking inside, no reel. Oh, backdoor to Millen. Great feed by Tom Marichek. It's a little bit wide of Mark Millen. Push caught on Millen. It's got a totally different look to the offense. They look to be very successful, even though they only got 2 goals in that first quarter with Tom Marichek. They were getting a lot of great shots with the Berge-Marichek right hand, and it looks like they've changed it around a little bit. They're going a lot to the left-hand side. You see the ball in Millen's stick a lot, and you don't see it in the Marichek-Berge combo.
I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring the left-handers into the game a little bit more. Jake Berge and Tom Marechek are showing that they can dominate that right side, but they're attracting all the Rochester defensemen. If Berge and Marechek can look to get it to the left side, they're going to free up those shots for Millen, Finneran, and Jason Clark.
Darren Much into the box with Tom Marechek. Teams will still be at even strength, each sending one guy to the box. Boy, this third quarter started off with electricity. Rochester is putting a lot of rubber on goalie Dallas Elliott. Jake Berge answered, really kind of cut off that flow. That was a great personal stop by Berge, who answered with a goal, and now both teams fighting for some kind of continuity on offense. Thorpe.
Philadelphia is really playing quite unsettled here. Big turnover by Tom Fair right there. Just not the right play that you need to make right now. You need to have the ball in your possession.
John Grant played very tough by Fair and company. Grant gets it back, tries to redirect it right away past Elliott, but Dallas had it measured.
The second and third opportunities by Rochester have been significant so far.
That'll wear you out.
In the second half. Every time they get a shot, it either hits Dallas Elliott, goes wide, but they're possessing the ball, they're getting the ground balls, they're getting the most opportunities.
Burns comes in, but Elliott bounces that one back. So again, just like you talked about, Scott, they're getting 3-shot offensive sets, 3-4 shots. Philadelphia, maybe 1 or 2. That has to take a toll.
Philadelphia needs to get the ball, and when the ball gets on the ground, they need to go after in the corners. These offensive players that are so good need to make sure that they work hard to get it when the ball's loose.
Finneran in tight with the ground ball. Trying to go low on O'Toole. A lot of effort on that play, but O'Toole comes up strong again. There's got to be some sort of story about Dietrich coming out. We don't know why, but O'Toole has looked strong since coming into the first half. Corey Bomberry, big shot from up top. He's got a cannon. Elliott comes out to break the angle. Nice job.
But just then, Rochester had 2 opportunities, 2 very good quality shots. They were off on the net, but they were, again, 2 opportunities within the 30-second shot clock.
We'll take a short break. 8-6, Rochester with a 2-goal lead. Tom Marechek firing up his team. John Grant and the Hawks lead by 2. We're in the third quarter with 6 and change left. 8-6 is the score, and John Grant has been a force. He has taken 15 of the team's 34 shots to get his 3 goals, the hat trick, all on power play. Leif Elsmo, along with Scott Gabrielson, Scott Grant, so hard to stop.
He's the guy that everybody's looking for in Philadelphia for their defense, and he's still having a heck of a game. He's getting all the shots and making it happen.
Timmy Sudan on a fast break, and Dallas Elliott with another acrobatic save. Rochester scored 2 quick goals the first 3 minutes of this quarter, and then Dallas has just shut the door.
The story is here right now for Philadelphia is Dallas Elliott. Dallas Elliott is making all the big saves. Rochester just seems to have an endless opportunity in regards to the shots they're getting, but Dallas Elliott is playing large in the net.
They've got 2 this quarter. They easily could have 5 total. They have 3 other goals that Dallas just took away from them. Millen trying to get a shot in close. He's wrapped up by Casey Zaff. O'Toole gets it right to the middle. Defensive specialist Reggie Thorpe. Timmy Sudan now looking for help. Slate all over him, and look at that power play by Fair. He levels him. Slate, fast breaking. They're going to call Slate on the penalty. Fair on the penalty, and Fair, of course, is saying that's not fair.
Right in that questionable zone there, Leif, in regards to whether he's turned his back, whether he's standing straight behind, or whether he's hitting him more from the side. Tom Fair releasing directly from the bench, getting the big hit. Ref saw it as a penalty. He's on his way to the box for 2 minutes.
Fine line is exactly right. Now they are 2 men down, 5-on-3. Big shot from Dewey Jacobs. This will be the ultimate defensive set. Now 5-on-4 inside to Kruger, and he can't beat Elliott again. Elliott gets tied up, but Jacobs just takes it out of harm's way. What a great defensive set by the Wings.
At a point there, Philadelphia was actually playing with 3 defensemen. It was a 5-on-3 because it was a bad exchange on defense by Philadelphia. They need to get the right personnel on the floor so they can have the best advantage they can. Thanks to Dallas Elliott, it didn't hurt him.
Elliott has been on fire since those first 2 goals to open up this half. Some pressure put on right there. Clark making O'Toole keep an honest stance in the defensive end. Now here comes yet another power play set for the Nighthawks. 5-on-4. Grant up top. Rochester real slow getting their 5 out there. Bomberry up top, a different look yet. Grant to his right, our bottom of our screen. Can't find Malowski. Malowski gets nailed. Trying to draw a penalty, doesn't get one.
Rochester was very effective on their power play with the outside shots. It looks like they're trying to get away from that to try to feed it on the crease and get the goals from right on top of Elliott. Hasn't been very successful so far.
Mark Millen looking inside, trying to find Ratcliffe, and he's tied up beautifully by number 15, Darren Much. MacArthur played on the Man Cup champions in Canada this past off-season. Also, of course, with Rochester in the championship game last year. The Rochester team has lost 2 years in a row in the championship to Toronto. Grant, big shot from up top, and Dallas read it all the way.
Incredible penalty killing for Philadelphia right there. To be able to stop that many shots, that many opportunities that Rochester had, that's a very good stance for Philadelphia defense.
Led by Dallas Elliott. He has had rubber in his face the whole 3rd quarter. Millen, left-hander, starting with the right-hander side. And Berge one-handed against the defense of Andrew Turner. He gave the kid a lesson. He held him off with his left hand and with one arm pulls in the pass and buries it by O'Toole.
Great play by Jake Berge. Mark Millen on the wrong side of the floor for a lefty. Sees Berge posting up inside, catches the ball with one hand, and all in one motion, jams it in the net. Here it is again, one-handed with his right hand, posting the other man away, catches it, jams it in. Just a highlight goal. Millen behind the back, finds Berge one-handed, jams it in. That should be on every highlight reel right there. Fantastic goal by Jake Berge.
Jake Berge's hat trick has brought his team within 1. We talked about him at the top of the show. Maricek got the first 2 goals of the game for Philadelphia, but Berge's gotten the last 2, and those are the ones that are bringing them back to striking distance on the Nighthawks. The Nighthawks came out so fast and furious with those 2 first goals. Malowski from Grant and then Kruger. And Dallas Elliott just shut the door. And now, here come the Wings. Millen's got Berge on the backside. It's a shot with a lot of people in front of him. O'Toole gets it back. Rochester coming down with that 1-goal lead.
Slow exchange by Philadelphia.
Inside Kruger! All the time in the world, he finds the corner. He did a great job there of waiting until Dallas made a commitment. Dallas has been very good at not making a commitment until the last moment. Kruger actually outweighted Dallas to get that goal.
Great poise by Kruger in the way he set Dallas Elliott up. He felt the pressure from the backside. He rolls back left, fakes Dallas a couple times, and then jams in the upper right-hand corner. Very nice move by Kruger. Again, feels the pressure, changes direction, sets up Elliott, and then bangs it in the upper left-hand corner. Fantastic goal by Rusty Kruger.
Kruger, 2 goals in a row. His second goal of the night right there. He had the second goal of this quarter about 9 minutes ago. Now a 2-goal margin again for Rochester. Randy Mearns. Corey Bomberry puts it right into the chest protection of Dallas. Jalbert. The first draft pick for Philadelphia gives it off to Berge.
Trying the 2-man game down low with Jalbert setting the pick. Here it comes again with Maricek up top this time.
Maricek got level, but Berge got level, but they've got 3 guys working that right side now. 2 big bodies. Jalbert and Berge, and the great shooting of Maricek takes advantage.
Each of Tom Maricek's goals have been set up the same way. Jake Berge coming in, making a big pick on Maricek. Here comes Berge, see bodies flying. Maricek just comes down low, sees the net, and blows it right under the arm of O'Toole. Here it is again from up top. Big pick, double pick actually for Marechek, who comes in, can only find one spot underneath the arm of O'Toole and puts it there, and he sees it. Big hat trick for Tom Marechek.
Hat tricks for Marechek and Berge, carrying this team back to within one. Jacobs, he's got broke.
Just listen to the Philadelphia faithful roar on that goal by Peter Jacobs. Great move by Jacobs. Take it all. Peter Jacobs, one of the best face-off men in the game. Here he is, makes the move, picks it up all on his own. He'll take the shot, sticks the upper right-hand corner. Not known for a big score, but he sees the net. He puts it only where it needs to be. Great goal by Peter Jacobs, tying it at 9-9.
O'Toole guessed low, and Jacobs with that 6'5" frame had a nice target up there. 8 seconds after the Marechek goal, Jacobs ties the game for the first time since it was 1-1. Hanford looking for a fast break. The crowd on their feet with 30 seconds to go. Philadelphia can take the lead for the first time since the opening moments of the game with a goal here. Tom Marechek, maybe the best shooter ever in indoor lacrosse, tried to find Millen cutting from behind, and that'll take away their opportunity. Ball goes into O'Toole. 10 seconds left. Probably not enough to get a shot off, but what a great quarter for the Wings. Rochester came out of a cannon. They were all over Dallas Elliott. They scored 2 goals to start the quarter, but it was 4 goals out of 5 scored for Philadelphia to make it a 9-9 game, and the crowd smells a victory. We'll be back to the First Union Center and the fourth quarter, the quarter that Philadelphia owns, in just a moment. Philadelphia with a great third quarter to come back into this one. It started with a lot of Rochester, but it ended with a lot of Philly.
Here you got Jake Berge starting up, splitting 3 defenders for a big goal. He started hot in this quarter. Here you go. Mark Miller behind his back, one-handed goal by Berge, and then it's Tom Marechek right afterwards, hitting O'Toole, and then coming off a face-off, Peter Jacobs getting the ground ball, sticking a corner for Philadelphia for a 4-goal run.
So Rochester really put the pressure on, but these Wings with tough play, look what they did. They were outshot 20-7 in the third quarter, but they won the scoring actually 4-3. So they got 4 goals on 7 shots. Rochester got 3 goals on 20 shots.
And that stat just says one thing. It says number 35, Dallas Elliott. Incredible saves by Dallas Elliott to face 20 shots and only give up 3. Fantastic effort by Elliott.
And this is the quarter that on the stats shows up big for Philadelphia. They have been fit enough to do big damage here in the fourth quarter at this point in the season.
Against both Ottawa and Albany, Philadelphia outscored those 2 teams 8-1 in the fourth quarter.
Casey Zaff looking for help, gets sandwiched by the big defense. Well, Philadelphia behind the back shot by Jacobs, and guess what, folks? Dallas making the save. Rocket shot from out front. Dave Stilley, captain and defensive specialist, felt like he was going to dent one there. Back door, one fake and low with Kruger to get a goal on Dallas Elliott. So in transition, Rochester will burn you every time.
Pat O'Toole started that play with the big save and a fantastic outlet to Turner. Just a great setup of goalie. Kruger here backing it up all the way. Great outlet by O'Toole. Coming down. Kruger just sitting there on the crease. Big fake against Elliott. Elliott gives away the top, gives it downstairs to Rusty Kruger for a hat trick.
Kruger has scored the last 3 goals for the Rochester KNIGHTHAWKS. Now they're back to that 1-goal lead. The Nighthawks have not been behind in this game since Marichek scored the first goal of the game. It was 1-0. They scored 3 after that. It was Grant, Turner, and Jacobs, and never were behind until the tie score at 9-9. That threatened their string of being ahead, and Kruger just put them back by 1.
They're working so hard for the goals that they get, where Philadelphia is getting quality shots and putting them away, where Rochester may even be tiring themselves out with all the shots they're taking that Dallas Ellick is eating up.
Finneran. Down low to Berge. Shot clock at 10. Tries to get it to the crease, and it was behind Finneran, who was cutting toward him. Fast break. Hollenbeck coming down by himself. Jeremy Hollenbeck one-on-one off the pipe. No goal there, and just as quickly, here comes Jalbert. Far side, 2 players. Radcliffe wants it. Can't get it to his teammate, and here comes Rochester the other way. Great defense by Radcliffe. Jalbert. Now they're calling a hold call. Gives it back to the Nighthawks.
A lot of back and forth, a lot of up and down. Some great outlets by Rochester to get the opportunities. Philadelphia seems to be turning the ball over.
Shots, look at the numbers there, 47-35. Total number in shots. Jamie Hanford gets whacked by John Grant. Hear it up here, and look at the story where we are. Jalbert to Finneran, and they'll reload with their first line out there. Finneran, Mark Millen on the left, along with Clark. Now they go 3 on the left. Open up more space on the right with Berge and Marichek. Millen just twists and spins it in the goal. That was a hard one to see from up here. I'm sure it was impossible for O'Toole to follow.
The 2-man game's been so effective for Berge and Marichek on the right side. Well, it's time for the lefties of Philadelphia to get involved in it. Finneran and Millen worked the 2-man game. Mark Millen setting the pick for Kevin Finneran. Kevin Finneran gives a little pick and roll, dumps it to Millen. Millen off balance, turning, gets a shot up for a goal. Here's a pick and roll. Millen sees the ball, falling off balance as he goes down, gets it past O'Toole to the near post, the only place he could put it.
On the face-off, goes back. Scrum, Philly trying to get possession. They've got 4 guys around 1 for Rochester. And here comes Peter Jacobs. Millen on that last goal did a great job of looking across the plane of the goal to get O'Toole thinking he was going to pass, and then he just pulled it near side. Game tied at 10. Clark, Tommy Ryan, fake slow, goes high. He's paying the price defensively. Andrew Turner burying him into the boards. Push call on Turner.
The intensity's picked up a bit for Philadelphia. They're selling themselves out for the ground balls. Great ground ball by Tom Fair there. And Philadelphia is now getting a couple second shots and second opportunities for Philadelphia.
Delayed penalty, but Berge takes the opportunity to give Philadelphia the first lead since the opening moments of the game. They lead 11-10.
As we said, they're swarming, they're picking up their intensity, the offense is moving, they're getting second shots, second opportunities. This is off the second opportunity. Jake Berge with the 2-man game between Marichek, comes around the pick of Marichek, beats Reggie Thorpe, sets up, sees the corner, and puts it home. Great goal by Jake Berge and his 4th of the night.
Berge has learned the Canadian trick of using his offhand. Gary and Paul Gate do it all the time to fend off the defender so he can get a clear shot with his right hand. And he used it right then beautifully. Tom Slate on the faceoff. Rochester had a string of faceoffs and possessions that put tremendous pressure on Dallas Elliott. The tables have turned. We talked about Philadelphia owning the 4th quarter. Millen, Berge, 2 goals in a row after Kruger scored, and here comes Clark backdoor, trying to give it to Jalbert, who was watching him shoot, wasn't quite ready for the ball. MacArthur to Malowski, who could not collect it. Good defense by Jake Berge, playing both ends of the floor.
We're seeing a lot of those quick outlets by Rochester. They need to slow themselves down a little bit and take advantage of those. Philadelphia seems to really changing the pace here, getting the prime shooting opportunities.
Hard shot from up top. That's going to be trouble if Rochester can get a hold of it. Clark will come back and take the backcourt violation just so there is no fast break. Wings with a 1-goal lead. Haven't had a lead since the first 2 minutes of this game when Marichek scored, because Rochester took over from then and maintained not a big lead, but a 1 or 2 goal lead throughout the night. Fourth quarter has been Philadelphia's quarter. Big block by Dallas. Boy, that was Jacobs in spot he loves to be. He comes from the far side, gets right in front of the goal. Fast break, trying to hit Finneran. Kevin looks far side. Marichek with a 4 or 5 fake move, gets doubled. He takes 2 players. Finneran takes his time. Look, shot clock down to 14. Right-handed shot wide, still shot clock counting down. In front, Marichek hits the pipe. They'll get a fresh 30, they should, and they do.
Great poise by Kevin Finneran, not to take that ill-advised shot. Gets a better opportunity, sees Tom Marichek. Marichek gets a great shot off the crossbar in a new 30 seconds.
Good possessions here, much like Rochester had early on. Millen puts it right into the stomach of O'Toole, but they get the ball back. Clark all the way across the other side, and Marichek with his patented wraparound shot. The right-hander puts it behind his shoulder. They tried to find Marichek again, could not. Radcliffe and company over there trying to get the ball back. Tom Ryan trying to dig it out. Finally, they do. Scott, this has been beautiful, and it ends up with a goal. Radcliffe finishes off a tremendous offensive set where they had 5 different shots. They kept getting the loose ball and finally wore out the defense.
That's wanting it right there, Leaf. That is really wanting it. Philadelphia wanted it. Tom Marichek comes up with a huge ground ball after a big scrum in the corner. Sees Jeff Radcliffe going to the net, flips it behind his back for a goal. Here's Marichek, flips it to Radcliffe. Radcliffe tied up, diving goal, past O'Toole. Fantastic. Here it sets up again. Radcliffe reaches around O'Toole for the goal. Wings with a 2-goal advantage.
They kept getting the opportunities by sheer hustle. They got not 1, not 2, not 3 shots, 4 and 5 shots. Elliott on the other end, 21 saves this half alone. But look at Philadelphia putting intense pressure. Jay Jalbert just knocking the goal off its pins. Stilly gets it on the defensive end. Time of possession has been huge for Philadelphia in this fourth quarter. Well, back to the numbers. We talked about it. Statistically, they've been owning the fourth quarter in this season. They're proving ready for that tonight, that kind of dominance. Radcliffe again, under the feet of O'Toole. He had a defender dragging him to the carpet, and he still scores.
Wow. If there's any player that reminds me very much of John Grant, it is Jeff Radcliffe. He's big, 6'2", over 200 pounds, can take the ball, has fantastic stick skills in traffic. Guys beating on him, has the ability to put that ball right in the net. Here he is, splitting 2 guys, flips it backhand under the legs of O'Toole for a huge goal and a big run by Philadelphia.
Radcliffe scores his 2nd goal in a row, only 40 seconds after he scored the other one. 4-goal run, the longest run of the night by either team. There was a 3-goal run early for Rochester to give them that 1-2-goal lead, and O'Toole is rocked. Now the story of Dietrich may become important. O'Toole looks like he's in trouble. His equipment's off. He feels like he was chopped or something. But if you look at the sideline, Scott, Dietrich is not even there. I don't know if he was thrown out of the game or what, but we have not even seen Steve Dietrich on the sideline. This man is the only goalie on the field, or on the sideline, on the bench for Rochester. We'll be back to the First Union Center. The Wings lead by 3. Back to the First Union Center. Jeff Radcliffe has taken over with the offensive end of the Wings.
He has taken over here just single-handedly with people draped all over him. Gets 2 back-to-back goals for a big surge for Philadelphia.
First round draft pick this year, Jeff Radcliffe out of University of Maryland, Baltimore County. Philadelphia, 8 of the last 10 goals and they are on a huge run in this third quarter. 4 goals straight, the biggest run of the night. With only 8 minutes left, they now have a 3-goal cushion. This is also the biggest cushion of the night by either team.
Possession is so important for the Philadelphia Wings. Incredible face-off by Jamie Hanford right there. Big win, draws it right back into the stick of his teammate, and he's off the floor, and here comes the offensive group for the Philadelphia.
Tommy Ryan trying to hit Millen. It had a lot of activity in front. Berge racks it up off the ball. 6 seconds on the shot clock. He's going to have to crank it from there. He gets a fresh shot clock on that shot. O'Toole back in the goal. We don't know the story on Steve Dietrich, who started the game, but we just haven't seen him for 3 quarters. 8 of the last 10 goals we talked about. Huge run for Philly, owning the fourth quarter as we predicted.
The tide certainly has turned right now for Philadelphia.
Great shot by Kruger in front. Rochester continues to get good opportunities, and it goes back to the guy who's been the backbone of the defense for so many years to Philadelphia, Dallas Elliott. Rochester could have had a 5-goal lead early in the third quarter. They were putting so much pressure. They shot 20 shots to only 7 in that third quarter of Philadelphia, and it was Elliott who kept Philly in the game and then waited for his offense to get lit up.
The defense is swarming for Philadelphia as well. Just that last play, you see the defensive effort. John Grant trying to pick up a ground ball on the sidelines. Gets hit, helmet flies off. Still, the play goes on. Philadelphia showing the type of intensity that they've shown all year in the fourth quarter.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Lacrosse League Incorporated. It may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the expressed written consent of the National Lacrosse League. We got a face-off, obviously, right in front of Tony Resch. He's getting his guys positioned. He's in a great spot now because it's just about tough defense as much as anything else. He's got a 3-goal lead, 7 minutes left.
It's crucial to play tough defense now. Don't give anything away. The Philadelphia Wings have the momentum. Rochester's working so hard for every shot that they get. Philadelphia needs to keep the defensive pressure on them and try to slow down the effectiveness of the Rochester offense.
Jamie Hanford with a sensational check on John Grant. You don't see that very often. Hanford, who went in for the matchup that's normally Peter Jacobs, but Hanford's got good size, and he's the other guy they don't mind having matched up against the big John Grant. He had just a nice, well-timed check to put the ball on the floor out of the stick of John Grant. Clark looking for more from Philadelphia. Maricek, Radcliffe gives him a little bump, a little screen behind the back, off the boards to Clark, and they're going to lose this ball on shot clock violation. A good 30-second no hold, and now they're looking at clock management as part of the winning formula. Burns down to Grant. They're going to ride Grant's back on this one. Now this is Jacobs. It was Hanford a moment ago. Corey Bomberry takes it off the leg of Tom Ryan. Ryan just sold out there and let that shot, that probably 100-mile-an-hour shot, just come off his legs.
When it is crunch time, you go to your big gun, and that big gun is John Grant. They're going at him. He's taking the shots from everywhere, starting with the ball and trying to finish it.
Yeah, it's a little early to pick an MVP, Scott, but if you and I were voting, I think we'd pick Dallas Elliott. Here comes Mike Buzza, puts it right in the face mask of O'Toole, and now they get to go fast break the other way. John Grant, one-on-one on Elliott. He's got the corner this time. You cannot give him a fast break out of the box. Grant finally got some space. He's really working on his speed. I tell you, to me, he looks faster than I've ever seen him. Actually, that was Jacobs. That's why he looked faster. Dewey Jacobs came out. He's 34, and we're up here in the bad seat, so it looks like 24. But watch Dewey Jacobs finish this one.
Here's the play. It comes from 24 on the pass with Dwayne Jacobs coming right out of the box, sets up Ellick and puts it home. They've had a number of opportunities like this tonight. This is one that they finally cash in on. John Grant sees Dwayne Jacobs cutting from the bench. Dwayne Jacobs takes a good look at the net and puts it home against Elliott.
Only Jacobs' second goal of the night. He scored way back in the first quarter, and this is only the second goal, first since then.
But I'd have to say, if not for the efforts of Dallas Elliott, there would be more goals like that because they've had the opportunities on that fast break.
Elliott, definitely the star. That's what I was talking about. I mean, you can talk about a couple offensive heroes and guys who have done great jobs, but Elliott really the MVP of this one. Should Philadelphia go on and win this one? 13-11. The Wings now in front off that run. It was Millen, Berge, Ratcliffe. After Kruger started the fourth quarter. Clark comes in, gets wrapped up by the defense of Rochester. They'll call a hold, and we may get some time penalty here. Time served. It'll be extra man for Philly.
Here it is again. Jason Clark trying to come down, set up left, do a little inside roll, take him to the goal.
Hollenbeck all over him.
Hollenbeck wrapped him up, brought him into the crease. He's going to the box for 2 minutes. Here comes the Philadelphia power play.
22 seconds. Philadelphia is on the
Jeremy Hollenbeck getting 2 minutes for holding. It looks like Philadelphia starting things from the left-hand side, looking to the right-hand side. With the power play advantage right now, this is a crucial point for Philadelphia to try to cash in on the mistake of Rochester.
And this is the first Philadelphia power play this half. Unbelievable when you see all the ones that had the first. Around the back for Maricek. Finneran found him inside. He just cut through the box. Nobody picked him up. And when he got in front of O'Toole, he wraps it to the corner.
The comfort level of Tom Maricek and Kevin Finneran for playing together for all this years is pretty evident on this play right here. Tom Maricek looks like he's going to shoot, throws it to Finneran. Finneran, he cuts down the lane. Finneran, no look. Maricek sees it behind the back. Big goal by Tom Maricek. See Finn with a little dump to Maricek. Maricek, as he goes past the plane of the goal, jams it behind his back. Finn to Maricek, goal.
Maricek's fourth goal of the night. Lead back to 3. Philadelphia gets the faceoff. Peter Jacobs knocked out in the first half. Really doing a great job coming back here in half number 2. Berge as well. A lot of great stories, a lot of great hero stories for Philadelphia tonight as they took over this game in the fourth quarter. Berge turning into the go-to guy, but they've got a couple of them. Maricek, Berge. You saw Ratcliffe's ability to really stand a defense on their ear. Millen, always a threat on that end. The couple guys that you've added in the last 12 months, Scott Gabrielson, the Wings have really put the death threat onto this offense because it's tough to defend them. You add a Millen and his speed and his shooting. You got Ratcliffe as a first-round draft pick. Very, very tough to defend this team now.
We highlight Jake Berge so much, and we highlight Tom Maricek so much. Yes, they are the 2 offensive scorers for Philadelphia, but there's so many threats. Here's a guy right here, Jeff Ratcliffe. He brings intensity, a big size to the game, as well as scoring ability. You got Kevin Finneran and Mark Millen that on any other team would be the standout guys and the go-to guys. So it's a great bounce offense. Create some fits for the defending team when you look out there and you see the likes of Ratcliffe, Berge, Millen, Maricek, and Finneran.
Zaff and Jalbert in the box. Teams are still 5-on-5. Possession Wings. Not much left. You can see the time clicking down. All about clock management now, Scott. You've got a 7-possession game now, 3.5 minutes left.
A lot going on in the middle of the field here. Rochester showing some frustration. Think we're going to have a penalty. Ratcliffe is just getting pummeled inside, and they're going to call it. They're going to not let that go.
Meanwhile, they tried to get a shot. Berge again with that move. He's really perfecting coming across the crease. He sells out, dives, just misses that time. But it'll be an advantage for Philadelphia as going to the box is Darren Much, who's really been doing a great job of plugging up the defensive end. He's really been very tough. He's the enforcer with Reggie Thorpe.
But it could be a sign of frustration also to be pounding on Ratcliffe unnecessarily, to draw that penalty, to put them in a man-down situation at a crucial point in this ball game. Not a smart play by Darren Much. He's letting his teammates down by taking a dumb penalty like that.
Dallas Elliott, he stopped 15 of 18 shots by John Grant in this game. And that is the story behind the story. It's Dallas Elliott's night. He has been the MVP every time this team in the last 10 years has done something special. More often than not, it's Dallas Elliott stepping up. 5-on-4, Rochester playing with a little bit of desperation. Randy Mearns just keeps his stick into the chest of Maricek. It'll be Rochester ball with not much time. They cannot take a lot of time. They've got to try to get some quick goals, and they're a man short as they try. give the ball to Grant. He'll be double teamed by Tom Fair and Big Jacobs. This is something to watch.
Yep, Rochester's goal here is to try to kill the clock, but they're going to put a lot of pressure on Grant and everybody away from the ball to do as much as they can.
And they still got a fast break. It's Dewey Jacobs coming off the bench. They had so much focus on Grant. When you double team him, you give up your man advantage. They moved the ball 3 passes. The open guy was Jacobs. Beautifully done.
Big breakdown by Philadelphia, but a fantastic counter move by Rochester. O'Toole came out. All the attention was given to Grant. Dewey Jacobs, again, coming straight from the bench. They see him. They get him the ball. Dwayne Jacobs, again, puts the ball in the net.
Back to the face-off circle. Tremendous job. MacArthur facing off for Rochester. They get possession. Casey Zaff, 26, trying to find Grant in close. They could not give it to Malowski. They tried to hit Malowski going inside of Fair. A little bit of a rushing the ball. They're going to lose 3 seconds on this end. Scott, it seems like if they would have taken another 10 seconds to give it to the right guy, they would have had a better shot.
And in this game, with 2 minutes left on the clock with a 2-goal cushion, that is not a good comfort level at all. It's still anybody's ball game right here.
Asen trying to pull the ball down. He gets racked by Martin Millen. Asen pulls it back. Timmy Showdown looking for help. Wheels in with a pick and roll. He's got room to shoot, but Dallas Elliott just pushes it aside. Millen with his great speed gets the ground ball. Finneran looks for the fast break, elects to hold the ball. He had Berge up there, but he knows time management is more important than a goal at this point. And a timeout will be called by Tony Resch. Nice job. He's got a minute and a half. He's got a 2-goal lead. He's got to manage the clock. 17 seconds on the shot clock as he takes the timeout. How about Maricek? Berge and Maricek working together.
It's been a great show by both those guys. Here's the Finneran and Maricek goal right here. Great plays by Philadelphia and putting a lot of points on the board. Perfect timing to call this timeout by Tony Resch. As I said earlier, it's anybody's ball game with 2 goals to go. Now they're going to regroup. Berge and Maricek have been so effective tonight, as you see. They've combined for 8 goals, 7 assists collectively between the 2 of them. I mean, quite impressive by the 2 stars, Berge and Maricek. Tony Resch bringing them together, telling there's a minute and a half remaining in this game. 2 goals means nothing. This offensive stand is very important for Philadelphia, and if you look at Paul Day, this is a very important opportunity for Rochester. They're still in this game, a little over a minute left.
Great showing by the Philadelphia Wings fans. 15,186 here to root this team to its 4th victory out of 5 games. They want to get them back to that championship game. They won, the last team that's won this thing since Toronto took over. Great history, though, the Philadelphia Wings, the standard of excellence. 5-on-4. They've got that extra man. Millen up top, working with Maricek, finally takes a shot and hits the pipe, but he gets it back. The critical possession gives him 30 more seconds. Berge's smart enough to say, let's use it all up. He knows here comes the 5th player for Rochester. They'll have to go out and pressure the ball. Rochester will get the ball back if they can get it after 1 shot. The Wings want to take a shot and get it back, but they're already switching to a defensive mode, so they'll give the ball away. Finneran watches the clock, watches the clock, watches the clock. They'll dish it back. Already they have their 3 defensive specialists on the other end of the field. They're waiting for Rochester. They will not give them a fast break. Resch doesn't need any more goals. He just wanted to get his defense on the floor. Now, Paul Day calls the timeout. He's got to look at how he can squeeze 2 goals out of 34 seconds.
Rochester calls timeout. It's their first up to act.
Well, you talk about one of the foundation teams of indoor lacrosse. Philadelphia certainly is that. And look at what they've done all time. 85-34 for a tremendous winning percentage. 5-time league champions, 8 championship appearances, and they've made the playoffs in all but 1 of the seasons.
I've been very fortunate to be on all 5 of those championship teams back from '89 till '98 in my last season. And there's something about Philadelphia, and this coach right here instills it, is the pride and tradition of the Philadelphia Wings. It comes from the top down, from owners Russ Klein and Mike French, and the unity and teamwork that Philadelphia puts together. This is a class organization. They expect no less than winning every year. And with this team right now, they're on pace to try to get back to the big show and dethrone Toronto.
Matter of fact, they haven't been the same since you retired, Scott. That was the last time they won a championship. Scott Gabrielson, a big part of those championship traditions. Look at Berge, 20 points. He gets his team, and look at this now as Dewey Jacobs tried to get the ball in, and he just kind of throws it away. Jacobs had it in his stick. What was that all about? And then they get it back in their defensive stick. They call a timeout so that Resch can put his offensive guys back on the field. He doesn't want to put the ball back in the Rochester sticks.
Heads up play by Tom Fair. He could have tried to run it out, create a problem, lose the ball, turn it over.
Dewey Jacobs, it was kind of odd the way he caught the ball and just like almost threw it away off the boards. Maybe sensing there was a guy behind him who wasn't there. Philadelphia was playing great position, staying in tight. Coaches talking, trying to get everything worked out with their offensive guys. Who's going to handle the ball? What are you going to do against the double team?
Great effort by both those coaches in their respective squads. Tony Resch takes care of the defense, where Adam Mueller takes care of the offense. It's worked out well. The offense-defense scenario for Philadelphia Wings was successful tonight. Now we got 23 seconds to go in this ball game, but Philadelphia has the ball. Rochester's going to put some pressure on it. Paul Day's in a situation right now, counting up his forces to see if they can do a 2-on-1 overload against Philadelphia and create a turnover.
Well, they've got the goalie out. Philadelphia makes 3 passes, and it's over. The ball will start deep in their territory. They'll be double teamed. It bounces into Dallas Elliott. He'll just launch it up. Now he goes near side to Clark. All he has to do is put it deep in the territory. There he goes. It goes way down to the corner. Randy Mearns trying to hit Tom Slade, and Slade just getting out of the way. Not enough time for this one. Philadelphia is going to win this game. They stop the clock with 3 seconds left.
Not much you can do about it right now with 3 seconds left in a 2-goal deficit.
You go back to when Dewey Jacobs, who is sensational as he is, just kind of threw the ball away. Jacobs down to the left of our screen. Jacobs has his helmet off. Jacobs is challenging Hanford. Helmet off, gloves off. There's Jacobs. He took off his helmet and gloves, and he just challenged Jamie Hanford. This is a man who passed the law bar 2 years ago. Went to school in Detroit the last 4 years, law school. And Jacobs has got a great tradition of scoring on Rochester's team, and he is just knowing how important this win would have been. They're going to come out of here 3-3, losing the tiebreaker because of the 2-goal win against Philadelphia. Tremendous win for the Wings. 2-goal win, and of course the win before.
There's the first Union check of the game by Tom Fair right there, showing some of the intensity of the game.
And that's it. 3 seconds come off the clock. As you look at the first Union hit of the game, 3 seconds just came off the clock. Fair and company hug Dallas Elliott, who is our MVP. We'll see if he gets the official award, but he really carried this team on his back until the offense got a chance to open up a lead. 14-12, the Wings beat the Rochester KNIGHTHAWKS. We'll take a break from the First Union Center. Philadelphia goes to 4-1. Final score 14-12. The Wings come back, didn't get the lead back to the fourth quarter. Berge is the official MVP, but it was Dallas Elliott that kept him in the game the whole way.
Dallas Elliott, just an incredible game, making so many huge saves on John Grant and on everybody on the Rochester team. Here he is with a big save on a breakaway. And again, here's a big outlet. Nothing harder than stopping a shot when somebody's on top of you. Dallas Elliott was superb tonight in his efforts for the Philadelphia Wings.
So the Wings go off to a 4-1 record. Tremendous day for them. Scott Gabrielson, Leif Elsmo saying thanks for watching our National Lacrosse League Game of the Week. The Wings win 14-12.